Throughout history, mighty empires have conquered continents, toppled kingdoms, and rewritten the map of the world. From the Romans and Mongols to the British Empire and beyond, few nations escaped the reach of these global powers. Yet some countries managed to resist, survive, and preserve their independence against overwhelming odds. Today we're counting down 7 nations that defied the world's greatest empires. Some relied on geography, others on diplomacy, and a few on legendary military victories. Stick around until the end because one of these nations became known as the graveyard of empires. Persia is one of the oldest continuous civilizations in the world. While many nations were conquered, colonized, and absorbed into foreign empires, Iran repeatedly preserved its identity, language, and culture despite invasions by some of history's greatest powers. For over 2,500 years, Iran has stood at the center of world history, from Alexander the Great and the Arab conquest to the Mongols and foreign powers of the modern era. Countless invaders have crossed Persian lands. Yet while empires came and went, Iran never lost its identity. Its language, culture, and tradition survived every challenge, making it one of the oldest continuous civilizations on Earth. More than a nation, Iran is a living link to the ancient world. Nestled high in the Himalayas, Nepal is one of the few nations in Asia that was never formally colonized by a foreign power. Surrounded by powerful neighbors and empires, Nepal maintained its independence through military strength, geography, and diplomacy. High in the Himalayas stands Nepal, a nation that never bowed to colonial rule. When the British Empire expanded across South Asia, Nepal's fierce Gurkha warriors and mountainous terrain made conquest incredibly difficult. Although Nepal lost territory after the Anglo-Nepalese War, it maintained its independence while many neighboring lands fell under foreign control. Protected by the world's highest mountains and defended by legendary soldiers, Nepal remains one of history's greatest examples of resilience and sovereignty. Japan. Japan is one of history's greatest examples of a nation that successfully resisted foreign conquest. Protected by geography, strong leadership, and military innovation, Japan avoided becoming part of any foreign empire despite repeated invasion attempts. Many nations fell before the unstoppable Mongol Empire, but Japan refused to surrender. In 1274 and again in 1281, Kublai Khan launched massive invasions of the island nation. Japanese samurai fought fiercely, and powerful storms, later known as the Divine Wind, destroyed much of the Mongol fleet. Protected by the sea, strengthened by warrior traditions, and guided by strong leadership, Japan remained independent while empires rose and fell around it. More than 700 years later, Japan remains one of history's greatest examples of a nation that could not be conquered. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has earned a legendary reputation throughout history for resisting some of the world's most powerful empires. Its rugged mountains, fiercely independent people, and difficult terrain have made it one of the hardest places on Earth to conquer and control. Few places on Earth have frustrated powerful empires like Afghanistan. From Alexander the Great and the British Empire to the Soviet Union and the United States, foreign powers repeatedly entered Afghanistan expecting victory. Instead, they encountered fierce resistance, unforgiving mountains, and a population determined to remain independent. These challenges earned Afghanistan its famous nickname, the Graveyard of Empires, a land where some of history's greatest powers learned that conquest is one thing, but control is another. Thailand. Thailand, formerly known as Siam, holds a unique place in history as the only Southeast Asian nation never colonized by a European power. While neighboring countries fell under British or French rule, Thailand maintained its independence through diplomacy, modernization, and strategic leadership. While nearly every nation in Southeast Asia was colonized by European powers, Thailand stood alone. Surrounded by British and French territories, Siam used diplomacy, modernization, and brilliant leadership to preserve its independence. Kings Mongkut and Chulalongkorn transformed the nation, making it strong enough to avoid foreign rule. Today, Thailand remains the only Southeast Asian country that was never colonized by a European empire, a remarkable achievement in an age of global conquest. Bhutan. Bhutan is one of the world's most isolated and unique nations. Nestled deep within the Himalayas between India and China, this small kingdom avoided colonization and maintained its sovereignty while many neighboring regions fell under foreign control. Hidden deep within the Himalayas, Bhutan is one of the few nations that never fell under foreign colonial rule. Protected by towering mountains, guided by strong leaders, and united by a unique cultural identity, Bhutan successfully preserved its independence while empires expanded across Asia. Known today as the Land of the Thunder Dragon, Bhutan remains a fascinating example of how geography, diplomacy, and tradition can help a nation survive against overwhelming odds. Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of the most remarkable examples of resistance in world history. While nearly all of Africa was colonized by European powers during the late 1800s, Ethiopia successfully defended its independence and became a symbol of African pride and resistance. While nearly every African nation fell under European colonial rule, Ethiopia stood its ground. In 1896, Emperor Menelik II led Ethiopian forces to a stunning victory over Italy at the Battle of Adwa, becoming one of the first African nations to defeat a European empire in modern warfare. Although Italy briefly occupied Ethiopia during World War II, fierce resistance fighters eventually drove them out. Today, Ethiopia remains a powerful symbol of independence, resilience, and national pride. Those were 7 nations that managed to resist some of the most powerful empires in history. Their stories remind us that the determination, geography, strategy, and national identity can sometimes overcome even the strongest military forces. Which country surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next countdown. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.